I started a nonprofit. Someone who didn't graduate from college, didn't really have that experience, but you know what I have? I have the passion and I have the commitment to it. And you know what? That is really what, anything you want to do in your life, you have the passion for it and the commitment for it, girl, go for it. You know, you have it. All the things you say, well, I can't. And we like to do that, right? Because we want to take the responsibility off. We want to say, well, here's the reason why I can't. All right, moving on. I don't really have to put the work into it. Put the work into it. If you believe in it and you love it, you're going to have a life you love. So I do want to encourage that. So as we do that, this is the time you get to write down your notes. And I put my little thing. How am I doing on time? Okay. Okay. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to write a big letter T. And that's going to stand for take the time. And these are my little nuggets for getting to your true you, okay? Obviously, my true you is not artistic, so I come to you. This is what you get, okay? So T is take the time. First and foremost, it's not selfish to take the time. I don't understand this philosophy now of why taking the time for ourselves is a luxury and not a necessity. I want you to write down, taking the time for me is a necessity. It is not a luxury. Now, I realize there's appropriate times for it. It's not that, anytime you really want to just take that time, you just tell your boss, you know what, I'm taking the time for me. I'm leaving. She told me I could. Obviously, you build that, and you structure the time around what you really want to do for you. It's necessary. It's not a luxury. Let go of all your shoulds. Anybody carry those around? Anybody? Well, I should do this. I should look like this. I should. I'm telling you, don't even say should, okay? Should's another S word to me. I encourage you to find your own Berlin. I feel like everyone has their own Berlin, in quotes. And what I found about me is I had never really spent time by myself. I used to look at those people that go to restaurants with themselves and think how sad, like they're by themselves. Now, I love it, and I require it. I found that about myself. I require it. So I plan on, and I did this year as well, spent a couple days for myself in a different place. I really challenge you to find your Berlin. And what that means is just any place, okay? It can be your own backyard, probably not, because it needs to be any place you can listen to yourself without any other distraction or people around you. So if you're even in your own backyard, you may have kids, you may have the sounds of your neighbor, which brings you back to your own house. Find your place that strips you of everything you know except for you, okay? Find your Berlin. Next, isn't this fancy? R, big R, write a big R. Reintroduce yourself to you. Hello, self, where have you been? I actually said that out loud to myself. Oh, seriously, 30 minutes? See, I can talk.
You're good. Keep it.
Yeah. I actually said that out loud to myself, and I know that's a little bit strange maybe. I know, Mary, you said the same thing, like, oh, she looks fun, and I'm doing it. I talk to myself frequently because sometimes I need that outside listening to my head because I do start still trying to tell myself all the shoulds. I'm like, Kalee, no, So in 2009, when I was actually in Berlin, I had that. I was like, self, where have you been? It's so nice to see you. And I had that conversation with myself. It's not strange. If you haven't had a conversation with yourself lately, do it. But when you're asking yourself, where have you been, and you're reintroducing yourself, what does that mean? So usually when we meet someone, we say, and we're in a networking group, and I understand that, you're going to say, so what do you do? But I challenge you, when you meet people, Siobhan, who are you? Who are you? Not what you do. Because you know what? What you do is because of who you are. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that who you are is not what you do. And you need to kind of find that out. We are all skilled women. We're all professional women. But just because you're good at something doesn't mean you should be doing that. That does not mean that's going to fill your authentic self. Okay? We're good at it, and challenge a woman and she will do it. But just because you're good at it doesn't mean maybe that's what you should be doing, okay? What did you like as a kid? Did you like art? Did you want to be a bull rider? Whatever you wanted to be. Seriously, ask yourself those questions, and we kind of giggle and laugh at that, but that's who we are. That was before we became moms and workers and all of that. The core of us has not changed, believe it or not. And those of you who have children that you know and you can raise kids the same way and they're completely different beings, we are who we are. We're just nurtured. Reintroduce yourself to you. What are some of your favorite activities that you like to do? The next two go together, and you can write it down one, taking it up. Understand what empowers you. So you're going to have a capital U for understand what, and E is for empowers you. I want to tell you the definition of empowerment. I think that's a word that's kind of thrown out there now. It's kind of a buzzword, but I truly believe in it. Empowerment is to invest with power, especially legal power or official authority, to equip or supply with an ability. So if you think of empowerment as authority, official authority, who has more official authority over you than you, right? When you're empowered by something, you're you. You have that power over you to do something that's actually a part of you. So empowering, I don't mean, understand what you like to do. I mean, yeah, we all like to go have coffee or whatever, but that's not like transforming. That's not. What is it that actually empowers you? What is it that gets you up in the morning and wants you to help other people, wants you to help yourself? What is that? Understand that. Don't just kind of go, yeah, I think that's what I'd like to do. But really delve into that. Ask yourself those hard questions. And then the last one is, sorry, you guys over there, TrueUGlobal, you're not going to be able to see this, but you should know this. Unconditionally. And what does that mean? There's no boundaries. There's no limits on that. I don't like art because Kathy says I should like art. I like art because it empowers me. It moves me. It makes a difference in my life. Okay? So it's okay. We have to live in a world of boundaries, right? I'm not saying it's a free-for-all and now we're all true you. We're out there just doing whatever we want. But you know what? You have full permission to be your true you. And when you become and you understand what really empowers you without any excuses, it's life transforming. And those right people come into your life. So I would just ask that you kind of look at this, journal at some time, and you've made your notes, and you start filling in maybe some of the questions. Or maybe you start asking the questions. You don't even know the questions to ask. I highly encourage you to do that to find your true you. It's life transforming. It's crazy.